The chipped paint on the park bench was cold beneath Alara's fingers. Beside her, Larry was a comforting warmth, his hand intertwined with hers. They were young, barely out of their teens, and their love was a vibrant, messy thing, fueled by shared dreams and whispered promises under a sky dusted with stars. Larry, with his calloused hands and ever-present sketching pad, dreamed of architecture. Alara, with her bright eyes and infectious laughter, envisioned opening her own bakery, filling the world with the comforting aroma of cinnamon and sugar. They were poor. Alara worked double shifts at the local diner, wiping tables and enduring rude customers to save every penny. Larry took on odd jobs, hauling bricks and painting fences, his earnings going towards art supplies and textbooks. But in each other's eyes, they saw a future painted in gold. Then came Clara. Clara was a whirlwind of silk scarves, designer handbags, and a dizzying array of cultural experiences. She was the daughter of a renowned architect, interning at Larry's firm for the summer. She spoke of Bauhaus design in Italian villas, of art installations and architectural marvels that Larry had only dreamt of seeing in books. Alara noticed the shift first. Larry's hand no longer reached for hers with quite the same urgency. His eyes, once solely focused on her, now lingered a little too long on Clara's sophisticated silhouette. He started talking about things Alara didn't understand, using words she had to Google, his excitement brimming with a world that felt alien and exclusive. The inevitable came one rainy Tuesday afternoon. Larry met Alara in their usual spot, his face etched with a nervousness that mirrored the gray sky. He rambled about ambition, about opportunities, about needing someone who understood his world. And then he said the words that shattered Alara's heart into a million pieces: "I think we need to break up." The betrayal stung like a viper's bite. Alara walked away, the rain washing away her tears but not the burning ache in her chest. She saw Larry and Clara, a picture of effortless elegance and shared ambition, and felt a wave of nausea. She knew she couldn't compete with that. She wasn't interesting enough, rich enough, good enough. For months, Alara was lost in a fog of heartbreak. The diner felt suffocating, the smell of coffee grounds a constant reminder of the future they had planned. She quit her job, packed a small bag, and took the first bus out of town. She drifted, taking on odd jobs in small towns and bustling cities. She learned about different cultures, experimented with new flavors, and slowly, painstakingly, started to rebuild herself. In a small coastal town, she worked at a bakery run by an old Italian woman named Nonna Amelia. Nonna Amelia saw the spark in Alara's eyes, the passion that Larry had almost extinguished. She taught Alara her secrets, her recipes passed down through generations. Years passed. Alara poured her grief and her ambition into her baking. She learned from the best, experimenting with recipes and developing her own unique style. She saved every penny, remembering the sting of poverty and the feeling of helplessness. Finally, the day came when she could open her own bakery. Sugar Spice, it was called, a cozy haven filled with the aroma of freshly baked bread, delicate pastries, and Alara's signature cinnamon rolls. Word spread quickly. Alara's creations were more than just delicious, they were an experience. She used locally sourced ingredients, supported local artists, and created a warm, welcoming atmosphere that drew people in. Sugar Spice became a local sensation. Years later, Alara stood in her impeccably designed bakery, overseeing her staff and welcoming customers. She was no longer the naive girl with chipped nail polish and borrowed dreams. She was a successful businesswoman, confident and radiant. One afternoon, a familiar figure walked through the door. It was Larry. He looked older, his face etched with lines of stress and perhaps a hint of regret. By his side was Clara, impeccably dressed as always, her eyes darting around the bakery with a condescending air. They recognized Alara immediately. Larry's face paled. Clara's remained a mask of polite indifference. "Alara," Larry stammered, "it's been a long time." Alara smiled, a genuine, confident smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Larry," she said, her voice calm and steady. "And Clara, welcome to Sugar Spice." He mumbled something about being impressed by her success, about her having come a long way. Clara just nodded, her lips pursed. Alara offered them a pastry, a delicate almond croissant dusted with powdered sugar. "On the house," she said, her voice neutral. As they took a bite, and Laura could see the flicker of surprise in their eyes. The croissant was perfect, flaky, buttery, and subtly sweet. "This is excellent," Larry said, almost in a whisper. "Thank you," Laura replied. "I've worked hard." As they left, Laura watched them walk away. She didn't feel anger, or bitterness, or even triumph. She simply felt closure. She had taken the pain they inflicted and transformed it into something beautiful, something delicious, something entirely her own. She was no longer the girl they left behind. She was Alara, the owner of Sugar Spice, a woman who had risen from the ashes and built a life richer and more satisfying than they could ever imagine. The chipped paint of the past had been replaced by the golden glow of her own success, a success earned through hard work, resilience, and a secret ingredient, the sweet taste of forgiveness. Forgiveness for them, and most importantly, forgiveness for herself.
Subscribe to see more stories.